On February 11 of 2018, cyclist Oscar Maldonado was killed when a car hit him near the toll to enter La Carrera. A car that was exceeding the speeding limit killed him, injured four other cyclists, and crashed another car. This is an example of the social problem of vulnerability, because the cyclists, pedestrians, and motorcycles are in constant situation of a potential danger. In fact, when the streets do the make-up of the 95% the people killed in traffic accidents. This social problem is caused by several factors. First, the street and highways of Bogota are poorly designed, especially in the highway to La Calera. As there are no speed reducers, the curves are sharp and pronounced. There are a lot of bumps and there isn't a bicycle line. Second, the people in Bogota tend to believe that by speeding they arrive faster, which makes car accidents more prone to cause death. Third, and most importantly, there is a disconnection between the law and the culture, which is why, even though there is a speed limit which isn't clear, people tend to violate it. According to the study Antidotes of Violence by Efraín Sánchez, harmony or disharmony among law, morality, and culture often determines the attitude of people before the law and lie at the root of legal or illegal behaviors. This translates to the case of lack of civic culture and social problem of social deviation. This particular case is a social problem of social deviation as people not following the law and the disconnection between the law and culture in regards to behavior on the road affects cyclists, drivers, motorcycles and pedestrians. The reason why there is a disconnection between the traffic law and the speed tolls and the speed limits is 85 kilometers per hour. By driving faster, they are arriving faster, and that drivers are confident that accidents don't happen to them. They are able to prevent them when they are not complying to the rules. This case of people not following the law is an example of lack of civil culture. There are several ways to address the lack of civil culture. The most effective is a mixture of education and creativity. By using these two ingredients, it allows the people to learn and to remember and implement what they were taught. By using creativity, people are drawn to the act and want to practice it in it. It takes the lesson taught by the campaign. Like when Antanas Mocos was the mayor of Bogota in 1988 and 2002. He implemented strategies like A Night for Women, in which he asked men to stay in the house and take care of the children during the one night, while women went out to have fun. While in the city was protected by female police officers, which helped to make women feel safer and to teach men the importance of their role in society. Strategies could help the lack of civil culture in terms of respecting the traffic laws and being more careful when driving to Calera and respecting the cyclist could be a strategy that Mocos used to improve the behavior of reckless pedestrians and drivers, with mimes making fun of them. In order to teach drivers and cyclists to follow the traffic rules and learn to share the road while being creative and fun. The other strategy could be to their drivers who usually use the particular route to La Calera to do it in bicycle, in order for them to experience the danger and the risk of being a cyclist in that particular route, in which will make them aware of their situation and hopefully make them change their ways and respect the traffic law and learn to share the road with them without danger. This strategy is both creative and educational, as it makes drivers aware of what the others are expecting. Through the mass media and press coverage, the civic culture strategies will be spread through the city and the country, making people reflect on their behavior on the road. This could be done with the press coverage from the main TV channels, which will help to gain a wider audience to the event of the civic culture experience. Also, nowadays, because the internet and social networks are the main means of communication, a social media campaign should be created in order to show the civic culture experiences and the experience of those involved. Through social media like Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat, this experience could be spread to a wider and younger audience, which will help to change the culture in the city and the country.
On April of last year, a very important civic culture campaign was launched by the state, entitled Todos Pagamos el Pato. It aimed to foster zero tolerance toward those who slip into Transmilenio without paying. It consisted on the characterization of all those unwanted behaviors in the cartoon of an Assyri looking. This campaign was unusually unsuccessful in its quest to organize, humanize, and better structuralize the system. As expected by Mocus, one reason of increased illegality lays on the confrontation between law, moral, and culture. In this case, the government tried to deliver a moral value of zero tolerance to the injustice of having to pay for someone who doesn't. Alas, this inline, unconscious value may have resulted in more problems. In fact, the same base problem that it actually solved. Its objective was to reduce violence, insecurity, and destructuralization, but by fostering a sense of identity in the other users based on the figures of a victim, it actually perpetrated these circumstances. Not only was the campaign not successful in reducing the number of colados, it generated even a greater irrationality and emotional furor among the users. The latter was less of a call to support the strengthening positive human values through example, cooperation, and empathy. One would tackle this problem with the following strategy. Firstly, it is vital importance to carry out structural changes in order to open up space for a cultural change to occur. With this in mind, it is recommendable to generate conditions and moderate structural circumstances which may be motivating someone to get on the system without paying. This is a big process of increased social justice, which may include lowering costs to particular populations. Parallelly, a civic culture campaign should be carried out. If the conditions we want to foster have to do with empathy, order, and cooperation, the moral content of the proposal should somehow lead to them. And the original proposal is a perfect example of how not to do this. Instead of generating tolerance and coercion among users, we would use a mechanism to set up a general atmosphere of empathy and respect, with particular emphasis of colados. Thus, this proposal would generate, on the long run, more structuralized, empathic human and organized conditions in the Transmilenio, and in doing so, would aid in the colados issue. So, to promote this strategy of point 2, it is important to recognize its breadth of scope and use all means in hand to apply it any system which may apply. This unity of purpose would then apply for major media coverage. It is very important to notice how social media and propagation tools as hashtags, reposting, and widely followed accounts may serve well in generating the unified atmosphere of change we have in mind. Although there will be always people trying to turn the coin around and stressing attitudes of rage and coercion toward those who do not commute with these values. With proper care, social media's potential for positive transformation, it is outstanding and should be taken advantage of.
A deeper analysis in any subject always requires a much more rigorous background investigation. To have more information to work with and be able to make smarter connections between concepts and then to create problem-solving strategies to the problem at hand. This analysis in future occasions should be done with the presence of all the group members and have each of them chip in what they think in order to have a bigger perception of the picture. Another strategy to have a better analysis is to develop a plan of action. First, to create a summary of the information the group is working with, then brainstorm different ideas to later include in the text in an organized fashion. Then the group prepares an outline, and with that, the first draft could be written. Finally, the group takes some time to correct final details, and in this way you have the best analysis possible. A third strategy is the ever-present promise of creating the good habit of not leaving everything until the last hour, giving the group time to analyze and discuss before writing and correcting.